first speaker is Anastasia Soloveva. Anastasia is a former private banker with 15 years of experience in finance. She started her company in the US, a first female-friendly bank, Athena Bank. She navigates women in a complicated world of finance. In other words, helps women to understand the common sense around money and investment. All right, Anastasia, I'm going to stop sharing, and if you're ready to get started, you can do your screen share.
Hello, everyone. I'm sending you regards from New York, and guys, I miss California. I used to live there before, and like just hearing these noises from all of you is just a different experience. Trust me, living in New York is completely other energy. Okay, so we decided to create today some topic which would be linking finance, but also will make it fun. So we've chosen the topic which would be investments as a makeup routine. And before we begin, let me just quickly figure out how to do this here with my, okay, where's my chat? It's here. Question for you guys. So what do you think is in common between investments and makeup? I give you 1 minute to just send here your suggestions.
And we can type it in the chat, right?
Yeah. Just give me a guess. So what is in common between investments and makeup? It's nice. You should do it every day. Yeah. Okay. So great thoughts, actually. I was posting the same question today on my Instagram, and some of the people said, one of my favorites one was, if you do it regularly, you will benefit from it. And that's true. So my answer to this question is, the common thing between that is a woman and money, and all the money which she spends and actually could have been investing. I have the whole talk and the course on the myths and legends surrounded, women and money. And I will not pay too much attention to that today, but let's talk more why actually we're talking about women in finance. I'm often asked why I opened a bank for women and why are women more financially vulnerable. Today, I will not talk for a long time about the fact that women in principle are paid less, it's harder to navigate a career for them, they live longer, they earn less, and often they rely on the financial support of their partners. Well, women themselves often think that finances are not for them. It's kind of not a female matter. Let me go to the next slide. And I want to give you here an example from my webinars. I usually give the girls a task to calculate the brokerage fee for the purchase of 5 shares of Apple for $100, considering the market price. It would seem like a simple financial transaction operation, but as long as those words like stock or broker appear over there, the complexity begins. So many females start to respond, oh, it's so difficult for me, I can do the math, I'm not very good with numbers, I didn't understand the task, and so on, all the time like this. But I have a question. How comes then that when we come together to the store and you see like the new lipstick with discounted price, you calculate it much, much faster than I do. And in your mind, you compare that lipstick to the price in Amazon or AliExpress. And if necessary, you just, even convert that into your home currency. So it's not about the math. It's not about numbers. That's basically very, very related to history. So we all know that historically, female were in a situation when you were given short-term financial goals. Usually the man is the breadwinner, he is bringing money back home, and as a wife or as somebody who takes care of the household, you usually plan this for 1 month. Today, everything has changed. Women themselves in a situation when they should earn, manage, and invest money. But unfortunately, they don't have yet necessary set of knowledge or skills about this. So my company, Athena Bank, does exactly that. It helps women to understand financial matters. But let's go more to the topic itself, women and makeup. Wait, what am I supposed to say here? Okay, so when I get asked from different girls, like, how do I need to budget my makeup? How much do I spend on this and so on? Obviously, women and makeup, it's a burning issue for many. We categorize this part in our educational program as financial about budgeting and expenses. How do you usually buy cosmetics? You come to the store and you pick the product, or usually you pick few products. Plus, there is always a sales consultant who will tell you that you also need that cream or a super scrub for your toes and something else. Like, I recently went myself to Sephora just for one thing, and they gave me free consultation. So as a result of that consultation was the huge list of different products which I never even heard before. And of course, they wanted to buy this, which is crazy. So usually, of course, you come to that like store and you leave it with like 3 extra items. And of course, you didn't plan that and they promise you the bonus card or discount or something else. You exit the store in a mood to change the world. But the only one thing which is changing is your bank balance. I guarantee you that. I did that 100 times to myself. I know what I'm talking about. So all these things is the marketing moves and traps. Therefore, you need to approach such moments wisely. So we teach women how to think about spending strategically. So there are a few important things. It's budgeting and trends. So basically, budgeting is a very, very powerful thing. When you set aside a monthly category in your budget for cosmetics only, well, then most likely you will not exceed that. Definitely you will not have Orbe shampoos for $60 per bottle, and you will not have any crazy luxury items because you will see how much it is standing out from the budget which you gave to yourself. But there will be also savings on your bank account, and I think it's up to you to decide which one is more important. Trends. We all want to be trendsetters and to follow the trends. So can we for once follow the trend and practice, for example, a skin fasting? It's a new trend of minimalism in skincare. It's very simple. You give your skin a break from that creams and serums which you were sold in Sephora, for example. I will not discuss the cosmetic effect of this, but by the way, I tried myself. I wouldn't say my skin looked better or not, but it definitely didn't get worse. So it works. My bank account is thanking me. Here's the thing. Let's talk about the economic effect. Any detox helps you to understand how much extra you consume. And consider this as a cosmetic detox too. How many items do you purchase on emotions, out of habit, or because you have free time? Right now, do the quick check. Go to the bathroom and take a look, or open a makeup box and think how much of extra things is in it. I just checked before this webinar. I have like 5 extra lipsticks, 2 extra mascaras, and I'm honestly watching my budget, and I'm really like trying to consume with my brains on. So sometimes still it doesn't work. Then recalculate all the spendings in for dollars. You will end up with huge amount. I'm not here to sell this webinar, but in general, just want to mention that we do have programs when we talk about different habits. It's not just about makeup, it's about everything around you. How do you go? Why do you actually take taxis? How do you spend money on your subscriptions? How do you purchase your clothes, and so on. So if you want, join the webinar. It starts on Saturday, and we are talking there about smart spending. That's me on social media, and I'm happy to hear your questions.
Thank you so much, Anastasia. It was a very interesting talk, and I do have to say that I've taken a couple of webinars, and I'm very, very close to start investing. The word that seemed to be very scary to me doesn't seem that scary anymore. Although, as you mentioned in one of your webinars, you know, that L'Oreal Cosmetics slogan, "You're worth it." I still think that I'm worth it, and I think that's why I keep on buying my makeup. So how do you say no to yourself even though you're worth it? I guess that's my question.
I don't say no to myself. This is a trick. Like it's not a torture. So having your budget and managing your expenses, it's not the torture exercise. You don't, cut on everything. Otherwise, so the problem with this, it's like a diet, right? It's like when you go on a diet, you want to lose the weight. Oh, this here is just the same thing. So when you go on the diet, you control yourself first 3 days. You start to see some improvements, and then you're like, I'm good, I'm fine. Like I can still eat like another extra chocolate or something else. Here it works just the same. So if you will limit yourself too much, then you just at some point start to reconsume maybe the double of it. So the trick over here is not to stop buying everything, it's just the common sense. Again, as I mentioned, you have to put yourself in the limits, right? So you definitely have to buy things, and you have to prioritize what do you need or what you don't. And just by thinking of that and having that in your mind, you'll be going to the stores and thinking about the purchases differently.
All right, that's a great
And
insight.
it's not my imagination, like I did this to myself. I was talking to a lot of my friends about this, and they are thanking me right now. They're saying that I changed the way they think about spendings, and it's not necessarily to spend hundreds of dollars to look good, to feel good, to live interesting life.
All right, that's great. Thank you very much. Let's see if we have any questions.
Yes. Am I on mute? No. Do you teach how to save, or do you teach what to do with savings as well?
So I actually have I have 3 main things which I teach women. First, it's how to budget. So how to spend money smart, because there are some areas where you definitely have to spend money. Then we set up the goals. So basically, why do you need to save money? You need to visualize and to understand for what are you doing this? What is your goal in life, and why do you save it? And number 3, I teach women how to invest. I think that's one of the rarest things. And so I'm myself a former trader. I was managing money for my customers around the world. I used to live in London, Zurich, and Singapore, and that's where I was managing the wealth of my clients. They were usually Russian guys. And so I know how to invest their money. And it's not that complicated. I can see that here somebody said in the chat that investments are complicated. To me, makeup is complicated, not investments. So I want you girls to come with me to that webinars, and I'm trying to explain things which just seems complicated. In fact, investments and finances are not that complicated. They just seem to be because the financial gurus of the market, they want to charge you for their knowledge. They want to make it seem complicated, but it's actually not. So I'm actually explaining on the course different terms and strategies in investments, applying very live examples. So I can see that a couple of people who are in this chat, they've been to the webinar, and the feedback I've got that they understood what I was talking about, which is the main thing.
Yeah, that would be amazing. That would be amazing to learn investment. I mean, I do very super easy things, but no.
But trust me, like you feel so much cooler once you know all these things. First of all, it completely makes you feel differently when you sit at the table with all these kind of smart guys, like when they start to bring, up some terms or bring up some like smart financial news. It's not that smart. You actually can see this around you every day. And if you can participate in this conversation, people just start talking to you differently. I guarantee you that.
Thank you. Yeah, link to webinar I see in the chat. That would be amazing.
Yes,
Yeah.
I'll definitely send you. There are a number of webinars coming in.
All right, let's see if there are any other questions. All right, from Dennis. Dennis, do you want to unmute yourself, or would you like me to just read it?
I can say it. So what is my favorite investing tools and applications? That depends where you're from and where you live, because those applications and how you can invest usually linked to your residency. So if you live in the States, my favorite over here is Robinhood, like obviously, because first of all, it's very modern, it's very cheap, and they have amazing a number of tools how you can manage your portfolios. It's very professional. In my opinion, it's not very easy for people to, like, who didn't have previously the knowledge of investments, just to jump in and to start investments. But what I'm doing, I'm helping you guys to understand how this all works. I give people usually, like tips and some safety rules, what not to click, what to click on the market. So like very, very basic things, just to make you feel that you are in control, dealing with that panels, dealing with that applications. It's not scary. I guarantee you that. So I had girls before who joined and they had no idea about like investments at all. So some of them are working in perfumery, some of them work in IT sales. They never heard this, like words before. And now they are super traders. They bought when the market went so much down in March. So they bought at the really bottoms. I think they can really be having results better than many of the hedge fund managers on the Wall Street. Like seriously, when I look at their returns, it's amazing. And what's also important about investments, when you think how to invest and where to invest, you actually change your mindset again. So you don't think, oh, I want to buy the Tiffany necklace, or I want to buy Louis Vuitton bag. You think, I want to buy Louis Vuitton stock. I want to buy Tiffany stock. So you still consume the same, you own it, but you are going with that company together to earn on the market, to earn on that girls who would be spending their money, their savings, and you would be earning on the stock going up and dividends. So you will be not wasting your money, you invest in your future.
Right, that's great. And I think the last question that we can take for this speaker, how to select the company to invest?
Okay, that's how I begin my webinar. Usually I'm saying, guys, well, first of all, it's a huge conversation. Okay, that's not even the beginner's level. It's a process, and again, it's not hard. In life, there's always an algorithm to everything, right? So I will be explaining how to pick the company to invest. But the first thing, which I'm saying all the time, because this is like another question I get asked all the time, Anastasia, where do I invest to make money? So if I'm going to tell you today, because I was reading right now the news, invest into a company called, I forgot how it's called, it's a Swiss company, but their ticker number is SOON. So it's a pharmaceutical company in Switzerland. So if I tell you this right now, invest there, well, you basically cannot, because you are not ready. You have no account, you don't know what to do, you don't know how to find these investments. You need to prepare yourself before you do anything with your account. So step number 1, beginner's course about investments. Learn why do you invest, learn what to press, safety rules, how to open account, how to fund your account, how much money to invest, where to invest. That's all very basic things where you begin. And then I'll definitely tell you how to pick the company and how to invest.
All right, this is great. Thank you very much. It was a great talk. And again, we will share information about Athena Bank and upcoming webinars in the Facebook group.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks again.
What baby is that? He's so cute. Hey!
All right, Nastya, can you stop share, please?
Oh, sorry. Okay.